Through Rory's 17 years as a professional golfer, we have only had one small chance to see what the former world number one would truly put in his bag if he didn't have a club contract. More importantly, could the same reasons he chose these brands and clubs back in 2017 be the same reasons you upgrade your golf bag on the cheap in 2024? That actually blew up my wrist. What's the numbers on that? Oh my God, they're so difficult to hit. Now, thanks to the guys at AG1 for sponsoring this video, mainly because through researching ideas for a video, I stumbled across a set that I didn't even know existed, and there's probably a good reason for that. However, just because this bag has some outrageous classics in it, does that necessarily mean that any of them are going to be good for you? Nike exited the market early in terms of hard goods, leaving Rory with no club contract until he eventually signed with TaylorMade, and there was a brief spell, especially at the Masters in 2017, that he basically had free reign. But there was a theme, not only through this golf bag, but one of the main reasons why he chose to go with TaylorMade in the end anyway. Back in 2017, Rory said the lowest spinning ball of the TP5X was the catalyst for the new partnership, and therefore it's no surprise the bag he built with no club contract was the personification of low spin and distance, especially in the top end of the bag. Let's start with one of the more interesting choices, the one that shocked me, because if I had to put any money on a putter that Rory would go back to if he was under no contract, it would be a Scotty Cameron. Odyssey has been thrown into the limelight, especially last year with Wyndham Clark and Ricky Fowler both winning with an old jailbird versus a putter, and the prices of those second-hand putters skyrocketing because of those wins. Whereas this custom PT Odyssey putter resembles any 3T Odyssey head that they brought out in the past. And because no Tour Pro has won with this modular head recently, luckily it doesn't cost that much money. And to be honest, it's the main club that revolves around confidence, psychological strength, calmness at any given time, which leads me on to the sponsor of this video, AG1. For a lot of you that have watched my journey over the last couple of years and also starting the business, working on my fitness, mental health, routine has been crucial. Therefore, after using AG1 for the last month, it has naturally become a part of that self-improvement routine, which I'm always trying to fine-tune. AG1 is a comprehensive daily supplement with over 70 vitamins, minerals, and other ingredients, including gut-friendly bacteria, antioxidants, and high-quality mushrooms. Even with the extensive list of benefits, the real noticeable change is my mental focus and mood balance throughout the day. Someone that's self-employed in a very tempting golf studio, it's very easy for my mind to wander throughout the day. Therefore, I don't think it's a coincidence my general work output has been more efficient over the last month, and therefore leaving me less stressed. It's incredibly easy to use. Every morning I simply pour 250 ml of water into the shaker and 1 scoop of AG1, and surprisingly it tastes better than I could have imagined, mainly because the team uses the core of the pineapple and vanilla bean to help with the flavour in AG1. If any of you guys are interested, simply go to drinkag1.com/SAS Golf or scan the QR code on screen and save 20% when you subscribe. You'll also get a 3-year supply of vitamin D3, K2 and 5 AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Thank you again to the guys at AG1 for sponsoring this video. But unlike the putter, what wasn't a surprise to me was the wedge choices. Even as recent as last year, Rory had some SM wedges from Vokey in the bag, more to just experiment with, and with his current bag updates has the TaylorMade's back in the bag. But let's be honest, even this old SM6 wedge, £50, I'll show you some listings down the right hand side here, well, has enough in the tank to get the ball stopping on the green. Now, when we think of blades, this is arguably one of the last manufacturer you probably think of blades. It almost looks like a Miura in this finish, and let's be honest, when you think blades, Mizuno, Titleist, Miura. Now I've got the 3-iron here in a pretty similar setup to Rory. He had the 7.0 Project X's, I've got the 6.5s. No wonder no one puts this kind of 3-iron in the bag. That actually blew up my wrist. Oh my God, they're so difficult to hit. As we go through the top end of the bag, you will definitely start seeing a theme of the brand that was being used. And it does make me think, was Rory throwing the scent off of a possible brand deal on the horizon, or was this his actual choice in this particular category? Because let's be honest, when it comes down to this type of head style, there's not really much you can do. All of them are virtually made out of 1025 carbon steel, the 25 standing for 0.25% carbon. And yes, they're daunting, and yes, they're scary, and incredibly unforgiving, as I'm very much proving right there. But unlike the top end of the bag, which makes a lot more sense to me, I wonder why it was the Callaway Apex MBs. Why not the Titleist MBs? Why not Mizuno blades? However, this is a great thing if you're a masochist and you love pain. You don't think golf is hard enough. That was so poorly struck. For the same reason, I wouldn't combine Callaway and blade in the same sentence, nor do many other people, hence the prices of these Callaway Apex MBs on the right-hand side. And to be honest, they're as good as every other blade out there on the market because, well, what other technology are you going to put in it? This is where it all started coming clear to me, the bag build. And to be honest, it's virtually a carbon copy of his current bag to date. And this was all highlighted with the fact this was a last-minute change at Augusta when he took out the Callaway Big Bertha Fairway woods that he had in the bag and put in this low-spinning, shot-shaping fairway wood combination. But it makes sense why so many tour pros choose TaylorMade in this club slot. I'll even show you some examples of tour pros that have club equipment deals with other brands but have a TaylorMade fairway wood in there. The most common one I see at the moment is the Stealth, and there is no question TaylorMade fairway woods are incredibly low spinning. However, Rory didn't even have the M2 2017. This is known as the forgiving version of the fairway wood. He had the M2 Tour, and these things are rare. And still pros like Brooks Koepka have it in the bag as of today. That is definitely more like it. Tell you what, it sounds better than I remember it. But I always think about these two brands at opposite sides of the spectrum. If you want shot shaping, low spinning, long, mini driver, TaylorMade. If you want something that's going to help get that ball up in the air, no shot shaping, you just want forward and forgiveness, Ping is normally always my go-to. Now I must warn you, Rory's driver setup at the time would make the Apex MB irons look like a kitten. Also at the end, I'll show you outrageous club combination for you guys that don't swing stupidly fast and are consistent but want a bit more yardage. Hence why these head styles were so popular back then. And this setup makes sense when you look at the reasoning why Rory joined TaylorMade in the first place. Because low spin equals distance. As long as you swing it fast and as long as you hit it straight. So what was the lowest spinning driver of the time? The Great Big Bertha Epic Sub-Zero. And with that being said, after testing so many night drivers over the years myself, I just know there was that low spin gap in McIlroy's bag. We can actively see through the years when he joined TaylorMade in 2017, how his average driver distance just shot up compared to the 10 years before. However, I didn't bring the Sub-Zero with me today for one very good reason that you guys need to understand when it comes to drivers. There's very much a tipping point when it comes to too much backspin and then also too little. Hence why all those years back TaylorMade started this campaign of loft up, because you at least need the ball in the air if you're going to get that extra distance. If you swing at 120 miles an hour and the only thing you care about is, well, that raw distance, well, yes, the Sub-Zero version of this is going to be just as long as far as anything else out on today's market. However, if you don't swing that fast and you're looking for, let's say, a new long driver, let's say a cheap Autoflex combination, you're going to get one of these heads, not the Sub-Zero version, a very light 40-gram A-Flex shaft. And I must say, this is for the golfer that's incredibly consistent and potentially wants a tiny bit more distance. What's the numbers on that? I've even outdone myself. At 92 miles an hour, which a lot of you will be at, incredibly low spin. Obviously, I have hit a lot up on it, hence why technique's important, but 255 yards. That is absolutely outrageous. That being said, if your bad shot's a snap hook to the left, do not build this driver for yourself. Thanks again to the guys at AG1 for sponsoring this video. Any questions on your golf bag or golf equipment, message me at sasgolfacademy.com and I'll catch you guys later.